All right, welcome everybody to another deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring risk management.
Risk management, yeah.
And what's interesting is the source material is actually titled Pasted Text, which is kind of mysterious, honestly.
It is a little bit cryptic. Pasted text. Who knows what we'll find?
Right, but hey, maybe it's a hidden gem. So let's just jump right in.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Okay, so the main idea I'm getting is that risk management isn't just about protecting your money. It's about protecting your peace of mind, too.
Absolutely.
And I'm really curious about that because, obviously we want to be financially secure, but this seems like it's about more than just practicality. Like, it affects your overall well-being.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. It really does. Financial risk can cause a lot of stress and anxiety in our lives. And when you're constantly worrying about money, it can be really tough to focus on anything else.
Oh, yeah, for sure. When I'm feeling financially stressed, I feel like I can't even make clear decisions. It just clouds everything.
Exactly. It affects your judgment, your relationships, everything.
It's funny. The source material actually uses this really powerful word, ruin. What do you think they mean by that?
I think ruin implies something much more significant than just losing some money. It's about a lasting negative impact on your life.
Yeah, it's like this long-term consequence that you might not even recover from.
Right. And it can touch every part of your life. Your career, your relationships, your health.
It makes me think about, like, a few years ago, I had this big freelance project fall through. And it wasn't just the financial hit that was hard, It was the uncertainty. Like, what am I doing with my career? It really shook my confidence for a while.
It's like that ripple effect. One thing goes wrong and it can just spiral. Maybe you lose your job or you get hit with a big medical bill and suddenly you're scrambling to make ends meet. It impacts your ability to reach your goals, puts stress on your relationships, and yeah, it can really shake your sense of security.
So if risk management is about protecting ourselves from ruin, what are some of the biggest risks that we need to be aware of? It's probably different for everybody, right?
Oh, for sure. It's very personal. But some common ones are not having an emergency fund. So when those unexpected expenses pop up, you're not prepared.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
know I need to work on that.
Yeah. Or relying too much on a single source of income. These days things change so quickly, it's good to have multiple streams.
That makes sense. Diversify, spread the risk a little. But isn't there a risk of spreading yourself too thin, trying to do too many things at once?
Yeah, that's a valid point. I think the key with diversification is to be strategic about it. It's not just about having your fingers in every pie. It's about allocating your resources, your time, energy, money, in a way that minimizes your vulnerability to any one risk.
Oh, it's about balance, basically.
Exactly.
And it's not just about finances, right?
Yeah.
There are risks in our health, our relationships, our careers.
100%. Like, imagine you've spent your whole life building a career in a specific field, then suddenly technology changes or the market shifts and your skills are obsolete. That's a career risk that can lead to, ruin if you're not prepared. Or maybe you haven't been taking care of your health and suddenly you're dealing with a serious illness. It can all be interconnected.
Wow, yeah. It's making me think about risk management as a form of self-care, actually. Because if you can address those potential financial anxieties, it frees up space to pursue other things in life.
Yeah.
Like your passions, your hobbies.
Yeah.
You can just enjoy life more.
Absolutely. When you reduce financial stress, it creates a buffer. You can make better decisions, take advantage of opportunities that you might otherwise be too scared to go for. It just gives you more control over your own life.
This has been really eye-opening. So to kind of bring it all together, if risk management can help us avoid ruin in all these different areas of life, what are some concrete steps our listeners can take starting today? Like, what can they do right now?
Well, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Even small changes can make a big difference over time, like start an emergency fund, even if it's just a few dollars a week. If you're relying on one income, maybe explore a side hustle or learn a new skill. And don't underestimate the power of just talking to your family or loved ones about your financial goals and concerns.
I love that. Open communication as a risk mitigation strategy. Okay, so for everyone listening, here's something to think about. What are the areas of your life where you feel most vulnerable or exposed to risk? What's one small step you can take today to build a buffer and protect yourself from that potential ruin? Remember, even those small actions, when you do them consistently, can have a huge impact over time. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.